Feel free to unmute, sing along, dance along.
Good evening.
Ian's gonna be dancing.
All right. What year is it? Oh, good. 2000. Phantom Menace on VHS. Jar Jar Binks, y'all. Phone simulation, phone simulation, phone simulation. 2000. Yeah. Sing it with me. Let me hear you. Phone simulation, phone simulation, phone simulation. 2000, yeah. Oh, all right. Not bad. Give it up for your host, Mark Hornback, the Well Hungarian. Well, all right. Phone simulation, phone simulation, phone simulation. 2000, yeah. I'm gonna see you at the fun. What? Wash your jeans, bring your notebook, bring your jokes. We got a microphone at the phone simulation, phone simulation, phone simulation. 2000. Thank you so much. You're too kind. Is this thing off? Oh, you're laughing at me. Still counts. Phone simulation, yeah. Phone simulation 2000. I can't hear you. I can't hear you in the back. All right, let's get this night started.
Yeah, we're getting this night started. Thank you. That's Ian Ryland Smith, our resident Fun Simulation 2000 theme song dancer. You'll be seeing him telling jokes very shortly. He's in the middle of the list. You'll see him. Thank you, Ian Ryland Smith.
You're very welcome.
I am Mark. I am hosting tonight from my work laptop. Unfortunately, this is an illegal pirate thing going on right now. Last week I destroyed my laptop after the mic. In case anybody stuck around and saw that, that was a fun night. But I do want to clear some things up. But that explains my background. That explains why I'm using a generic background. I don't know where I got the old camp background from, and that might be lost forever. So please if you know where it is, please send it to me. Otherwise, forensics will have to go through that hard drive and find it. I don't know what to do about that. No, guys, some of you may know, and we talked about this earlier, that a couple weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago, I left Amazon. And,
yay!
Boy, are my water bottles full of urine.
Oh.
I wasn't a driver. I worked for corporate. They took better care of us, but still, all my water bottles are full of urine. Just what happened. Yeah, my new work is cheap. I had to sign into my personal Zoom because they don't pay for premium Zoom at my new company, and I do for an open mic, which is a problem because I'm not making any money from the open mic at all. And that's why I don't want things to reopen, because I just renewed 12 months of Zoom Premium. I paid in advance for the discount, which is the stupidest thing I could have done once I saw Ron Irving getting vaccinated. I don't know. Ron's waving. I'm going to put Ron up for 1 second. I don't know. Why did they give this guy the shot?
I'm vaxxed up, bitch.
That's terrible. Oh, my
God.
Oh, terrible, terrible time. No. Zoom comedy is weird. I don't like it too much because I want to get back, but because I don't think people take it seriously. Like right now I could do to the gallery view and you can see half the people probably aren't on their mic. No, a lot of people are there. That's pretty cool, but usually it's just a bunch of people muted and no faces. I'll admit a few weeks ago during a mic somebody was performing and I went to the bathroom and then I just started doing laundry. I just forgot what I was doing. I forgot I was responsible for running this room for 12 people and the 3 viewers we have. Let's go check the stream right now. How many people are watching? 3 viewers. Hi everybody at home. This is going to be a really fun night. We got a bunch of comics. I have a new direct message. No, I don't. Okay, that's strange. We got stick around to the end, everybody. If you haven't been here before, I run through the list one more time. Everybody does a 1 minute speed round called the fastest minute in comedy. Go, 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 go.
Go, go, go.
This is gonna be great. No, and I want to point out, so I was prepping for a show a couple of weeks ago, and I started looking at my notes, trying, I was like, oh, I want to pick the best of all of my Zoom writing for the last 12 months, and I want to make like 10 or 12 minutes out of this, and start doing run-throughs of it. And I was going through all my shared documents, and I realized I was doing that on my Amazon computer, and they're now owned by HR. Oh no.
Oh
So
no.
some lady in HR now owns a bunch of documents that are a list of people's names and a bunch of like dick jokes, basically. So, and I can't access them. Cannot access. They legally own all of that material. They're going to end up in the Alexa joke bank. If you ask Alexa for a joke, you're going to hear some of my original material. I'd like to say my first project was acquired by Amazon. Right, that's it, right there. Oh yeah, we're selling out. I don't know. And I remember when COVID first happened, it was strange. A lot of people were like, "Oh, do we do this on Zoom? Is it right to be telling jokes right now while thousands of people may be dying of COVID or things that are made up and they're blaming on COVID, whatever. But thousands of people are dying either way. Is it right to be doing comedy on Zoom?" And for that, I looked up for historical context what people had done in the past. And by that, I went on Wikipedia. I just went on Wikipedia and I looked up things. And I found out that Abraham Lincoln was shot at a comedy show. It was actually a comedy show. And that comedy show was 6 days after the Civil War ended. So they were rehearsing for weeks during the Civil War. And I think this is no different. I actually think the Civil War is worse. Well, it was more serious because that got racist white people to kill other presumably racist white people by the thousands, by the hundreds of thousands. Oh man, the Civil War, that was bad. But yeah, we're losing crutches. We're losing our comedy crutches. We lost Donald Trump as president. We're losing COVID soon. But I'm okay with losing Trump as a comedy crutch, because every joke about Donald Trump is stolen because Trump originally did it as a bit. It's all just a rehash of him doing the original bit. So we're stuck with Ted Cruz, who I like to call the Republican Mr. Bean, because he's just living the bits. He's not performing the bits. He's just living through the bits. Because in Texas, when there was a blizzard and his people that voted for him and depended on him were dying, he decided to fly to Cancun with his family, and he took so much heat for it that he flew back the next day and said he was just dropping them off like it was a public school. Like, I was just making sure they got there okay. And it's weird because he got guilted into that. And I think that's worse because he had to choose between being a terrible senator or a terrible father. And he chose both somehow. He was able to do both. And that's a joke with 2 punchlines, and you won't see any more of those tonight. So I'm going to get this started. I just won the night, everybody, right there with 2 punchlines. I'm just kidding. Our next comedian coming up. Where the hell did Shanklin go?
I'm right here.
He's right there.
You're under John McComb. Stop doing that.
I'm
Jesus.
sorry.
Our next comedian is trying to steal John McComb's identity every week, slowly, one bit at a time. Please welcome John McComb / Andrew Shanklin.
Yeah, John McComb's booked more than me in the month of April, so there is a reason for me to do that. Okay. I like that straight white guys. I think it's so funny that they'll pretend like it's an accomplishment to be sex positive. Like, it took like personal work for them to do that. They're like, yeah, I'm sophisticated. I'm a feminist. My chick, whatever she wants to do, I'll do it with her anytime, any place, any position. That's just me. I'm woke like that. I personally like it better when people don't talk about sex at all. I prefer that. I feel like what should happen in health class is like when you're like, how people like brag when they're in high school, like, oh, my boyfriend did this. I think the teacher should be like, excuse me, Stephanie, please don't talk about that unless your boyfriend's going to do it to the entire class. Okay. Did he bring enough for the whole class? Okay. I don't like when I like a woman and I say, hey, I like you. And she says, oh, let's just be friends, because like, fine, that's nice, but also I feel like you don't really want to be my friend. Like, I just feel like it's a lot. And it's like, for me, like when I'm telling someone I like them, that's a big jump. That's like joining ISIS to me. I'm like, there is no going back. I'm burning all my bridges to do this. This is really, I'm putting all my eggs in this basket, Because honestly, and I put myself in this woman's shoes. If she's like, "Hey, Andrew, I like you. I like spending time with you," and I think about what you look like naked, I'd be like, "Let's not spend time together anymore." If you're going to be thinking, I don't even want to think about me being naked. Okay. So apparently, the app Headspace was founded by the CEO of Axe Body Spray. And like, just think about how many people wouldn't need the app Headspace if he didn't also invent Axe Body Spray. You know, it's just like so many people are just so unsure. I think we're a little bit harsh on people that bought Axe body spray when they were children, me specifically. And I think it's because like, oh, you're a little boy, you're horny, and you see this commercial, they're like, oh, if you spray this stuff on you, women will be in love with you. It's like you'd be stupid not to buy it. Like, oh, it smells so bad. It smells so bad. Axe body spray smells so bad. Henry Kissinger was like, we can't drop this on Vietnamese people. That's how bad that stuff is. I told a person I knew, their dad told me that he thought all Jewish people would vote for Bernie Sanders because he's also Jewish. And I was like, that seems anti-Semitic to me. But then I was like, oh no, this guy thinks Jewish people want to pay more taxes. That's maybe kind of woke, the like opposite of the stereotype. All right. Here's my big problem with pornography, everybody. I don't like that the free market will tell me what does or does not make me horny, okay? It's like, hey, just because big tits and big asses make the most money doesn't mean that's what everybody wants. It doesn't mean they're the best, you know? Some of us prefer small, locally owned mom and pop tits and asses, you know? That's more our speed. I tried all yelling, that didn't work. My mom would make me visit my great grandparents a lot when I was growing up, and I was like 5 and they're like 90. And my mom would be like, "You're so rude. You're not talking to your grandparents." I'm like, "I'm 5 and they're 90. What are we gonna talk about?" Like we have nothing in common. Like, oh, we both like hard candy, you know, like that's it. Like I'm just sitting in here the whole time. I'm like, my Game Boy is in the car, you know, that's all right. Well, you know, I saw this commercial for DraftKings, but it was with Casino Queens. And I like the idea that someone's like, look, not enough women are addicted to gambling. We need to get more women addicted to gambling. You know, there are guys in rehab that are like, oh, I'd get over this if there were more hot chicks, you know, that's why I can't stop. We didn't like that, and I don't know why. All right, I'm done.
All right, he's done. Andrew Shanklin performing as John McCombs. That's technically digital blackface. Sorry. So I like that. Here's the problem. If you start talking about picturing you naked, then you got all of us to do it too. So please retire.
Yeah, all right. Well, keeping that in mind.
It was awkward for everybody watching on the stream. How many people is that right now? 2 people right now. All 2 people pictured you naked, and everyone that's on their camera and unmuted that's paying attention as well. Our next comedian coming up, starring in the new Hitman franchise, Ron Irvin.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Praise the Lord on this blessed Easter Sunday, right?
Woo!
Oh yeah, there we go. I am the resident preacher, Ron Irvin. No, we're happy to be here. So pretty much everybody was here before. My girlfriend's in the room, and I notified her. I was like, hey, if she wants to join, just let her in. But I do want to point out she's muted and her video is off. So now it just looks like I have another account signed in on another computer. I'm just like, yeah, no, you can let my girlfriend in. She can't. No, she can't because the camera on her phone. It doesn't work. It's broken. But that sounds amazing. And that's like the most Zoom comedy thing I've ever heard of. Oh boy. She doesn't think I'm funny, which is great. I love it. I think that's fantastic. I think you need that in your life. That constant. She always tells me all the time, she's like, you're not funny, but I still love you. And thank God she follows it up with that. Oh my God. Because that's like fine. Like there's a lot of people I don't think are funny, but I still like them. But like comedians are just such psychopaths that if you just like, I mean, I just don't think you're funny. You might as well just fuck their mom. That's basically it at that point. That's how we operate. It's fantastic. I love her to death. She's great. She is really into what is going to happen to her remains when she dies. That's very important for her. It's a big thing. It's a big thing. I personally don't care. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You throw me in a lake, I'll ruin a picnic. That'll be great. I honestly don't care because I'm just going to be dead, right? But I asked her, it's like, well, what do you want? Like, what do you want done? It's in your will, right? And she was like, no, they wouldn't put it in my will. I'm like, well, what is it? And she said, with absolute sincerity, I want my tattooed skin to be stretched across lampshades. Yes. Now, here's the thing. My first reaction was, okay, interesting. My second reaction, which I decided to verbalize because I'm an idiot, was, okay, but if you die first and that's in my house, I'm telling everybody it's my fleshlight. And I don't know if you guys knew this, but you can watch the love for you physically leave somebody's body. It's pretty powerful. And she was like, yeah, they wouldn't put it in my will. It's bullshit. I'm like, of course they didn't. You went to like a law office in the middle of a day and went up to some nice old Jewish man and just went, I want to be a flesh couch. And he's like, I can't lose my job. She's great. But it's fine. It's okay. Like that's a bigger point. Like I'm starting to hear comedians talk just like outside of venues and shit again. And I hear that inevitable, like, you got to be funny for everyone, everywhere, every place, all the time. And I'm like, that's literally impossible. That's literally not possible because it's art. It's subjective. And I would argue, honestly, I would probably argue that comedy is maybe the most subjective art form that there is. So it's all different. It just varies. It's like, perfect example. I live a 15-minute walk away from the world famous Harlem Theater. Okay. We're all familiar with it. Please put Jeff Dunham up there right now
No.
and let me pass out tickets on the streets of Harlem. I will be there front and center, and I guarantee you he will pull out a puppet named Jamal or something, and whatever happens is justified. I guarantee you. Fuck that dude. That's just not how it works. It's all, I don't know. I think, oh man, I got 1 minute left. Now I'm just ranting about that. I don't know. Harlem's great. A homeless dude screamed a poem at me the other day. It was pretty awesome. Didn't ask for money or anything. Just walked away. Either the last living artist in this city or a guy who just doesn't know that open mics exist. And he's really furious about it. All right. My name is Ron Irvin. My special's on Pornhub. Give it up for your host.
Yeah, one more time for Reverend Ron Irvin. It's Easter. He is risen to perform comedy on Zoom today. Yeah, that's a good accomplishment for everybody that's here. I forgot to tell everyone you're getting 4 minutes. 4 minutes, because I'm gonna try to fix my laptop after this. I'm gonna try to get in the same mental state I was when I broke it. So I'm gonna do a shot of Patty's and then pour another shot and then pour that out. And then our next comedian you can welcome to the stage. I'm just doing intros and they're just blurring together. Please welcome Laura Haas.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. It is Easter, you fucks. You profane dickheads. No, I'm just kidding. You are not, many of you are not dickheads. And all right. I am, well, I wanted to talk because it is Easter and I wanted to talk about Jesus. I do, I do go to a non-denominational Christian church, but it is very LGBTQ friendly. It's very inclusive and socially just. And I like to put that right up top so that I don't get attacked for my beliefs by all my open-minded friends. I didn't plan on going to a church because I thought I'd be dead by now. Whoops, nobody was more disappointed than I was that I had to develop some sort of interior life. I already believed in God, though. I get my belief in God, like the rest of my family, from 12-step programs. And there we don't pray before we eat, but we do pray when we think it will get us our driver's licenses back, which God knows are really the only sincere prayers people ever say, except when they think they're pregnant. So, yeah, and they're just in my meetings. There just wasn't enough celebration about the miracle of getting off probation. And so I found my way to this church. It's very, very, very low key. People think, church is high, stuffy and, and not my church. Even the pastor wears a zip up hoodie. And I'm pretty sure that's just so it's easy for her to breastfeed during her sermon. In fact, the last time I was at the church, I wore leopard print. I wore a piece from the Kardashian collection. I hope you were able to get some of those before all the Sears went out of business. But I did, and as I was leaving, my roommate, who was a Catholic, was like, "Do you think Jesus would approve of leopard print?" And I was like, "I don't know. There were 2 cougars on the ark," So, I mean, granted, that's a different book, and I don't know if Jesus read the first book. If he did, he probably would have picked a different religion. He'd probably be like, "You know what? I'm going with Buddhism." I'm also like, I don't, it's funny. I do go to this church. It's online right now because of the pandemic, and we talk more in comedy open mics about Jesus than my church ever does. So it's good that I come here because I'm not really, I'm not I'm not on the Bible. I'm more of a headline girl, and the pages are thin and the print is small, and I like to eat chips when I read. So I just haven't gotten through it. Thank you. I also don't care to know if anyone else is a Christian. I'm kind of a don't ask, don't tell Christian. I think Jesus would be okay with blowjobs and certain, in most of the circumstances, between consenting adults. That's sort of where I'm at with that. So, yeah. And, but I'm dating a Jew right now, a Jewish person. I don't know if I'm allowed to call him a Jew. And, I was disappointed that the QAnon space lasers, funded the conspiracy about the space lasers turned out not to be real, because I'm like, they were funded by the Rothschilds, this old Jewish family. And it's, this anti-Semitic idea about them. And I'm like, Jewish space lasers, my boyfriend, I've got an in, he can help me keep my mustache down, but turns out they're not real, and I'm staying a liberal. So, all right, that's all I got. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Laura. Going down for Laura. We're gonna keep
Sorry,
going,
I called
guys.
you all a bunch of fucks.
I mean, we are. We're all. Look,
I know, but I feel bad. Like,
gallery view.
thank
Just
you,
a
Ian.
bunch of fucks. Look at these fucks. Oh man, too many of them. Our next fuck coming up. Very funny guy from New York. Please welcome Joe Gorman.
Oh shit, that's me. What's going on, everybody? Happy indeed. The Lord has risen, man. How fucking chill is that, dude? Jesus is pretty fucking cool, especially when you compare it to some of the other demigods. They were just going around fucking raping and killing people. But Jesus was pretty fucking chill, man. He was like hanging out. He was giving everyone wine, essentially telling us to like calm the fuck down. And then we were like, fuck you, and then we fucking killed that guy. That's wild, man. I guess that's like cool, because like that's why we like Jesus, because he's the demigod we killed. Like Hercules and shit, he was killing us. That sucks, man. Like Jesus, like I am God incarnate, and we beat the shit out of that guy. We fucking whipped his ass, and we fucking made him like, all right, carry this fucking cross to Golgotha. And then we literally just hung him out to die with actual fucking thieves. And Jesus even said like, hey, in this day, like we're all the same, essentially. Isn't that wild that I know shit about the fucking Bible, even though like I've done a lot of drugs, so I don't believe in God. Like I did DMT, which is supposed to like open up your mind and show you like the true like fucking like spirit realm or whatever, dude. Nothing happened, and that means I don't believe in God. Isn't that wild how that works? Usually it's like the opposite, where like you have like this fucking crazy experience and you're like, oh, there is a God. Not me, baby. I don't believe in nothing. I'm just looking at that whole fucking Jesus of Nazareth as a hero's journey. All right. In fact, although it's kind of crazy, because like when you read the Bible, there's a massive fucking gap in it where like Jesus is like a fucking baby, and then he's like this fucking dude just doing miracles and shit. It's like, yo, give me the fucking lost years of like Jesus like coming into his own and shit. Like Smallville for Superman. Wouldn't that be chill? I don't know, dude. What if fucking God is listening to this Zoom set right now and just getting all pissed that I'm like revealing all of his secrets and shit? It's like, well, I don't want him to know. I don't want people to know that you could fucking beat up Jesus the way you can fucking like can't beat up some of the other demigods. What are some of the other cool demigods? Perseus. That was a fucking sick ass demigod, man. He was cutting off Gorgons' heads and then fucking flying on a horse with wings. what the fuck did Jesus do? Just fed a bunch of fucking people. You guys ever remember like they were saying like, oh, Jesus actually looks Middle Eastern. Did you know that? It's like, well, when you look at where he was born, he was born in Middle. It's like, okay, that's cool. Yeah, Mary probably, yeah, Middle Eastern, but like let's not forget that his dad was God. All right. So like you're telling me like come on, right? Like God doesn't have any fucking recessive genes. Get out of town, right? That would be fucking tight, dude. We're just goofing, dude. There is no God. Let's be absolutely real. What probably happened was Mary was unfaithful and she was worried about getting her fucking hands cut off or some nonsense like that. So she was like, oh, a fucking angel got me pregnant. Isn't that nuts? Like you have like Zeus who's like, I'm gonna fucking get a woman pregnant. I'm gonna fucking rape this chick, right? That's how Zeus is. Like, and he's like, okay, are you gonna fucking rape her like a man? It's like, no, I'm gonna turn into a giant ass duck and rape a woman. God is like, I'm gonna get this person pregnant, but I'm gonna have an angel say, it's like, it's very, he was like, God was like getting like Mary pregnant by like waving his fingers up in heaven. And Zeus is like, I'm going to do my own dirty work as a fucking disgusting ass bird. So like, which God would you fucking want getting you pregnant against your will? You got to think about that. Well, I guess when you think about it, Jesus was kind of a rape baby. So maybe in a way it was good that we killed him, huh? Wow. We got to think about these kinds of things, man. Well, maybe that's why we were able to kill him. Ugh. Powerful stuff, man. Man, I hope I don't go to hell. I hope hell's not real, and I hope I don't go there. Thanks a lot, everyone. Goodbye.
Yeah, thank you, Joe Gorman. Yeah, I just want to point out that even though I'm using company property, none of Joe's views reflect any of my views or the company that I work for's views. Joe was concerned with God hearing the Zoom. I'm more concerned with HR at this point. I didn't log out of the company chat and I saw messages coming in and I was like, oh my God, if I cross these chats, I'm fucked. Oh man, you just had a bad dealer, Joe. That's all you had. You just had a bad dealer. You got to get a better dealer. Our next comedian coming up is a better dealer. Please welcome Ian Ryland Smith.
Yeah, I got the good shit. I got the real good shit. So I work at the sheet music store and I sell sheet music and sheet music accessories. And my job is I check people out. And people come into the store and I say, hey, how you doing? What can I help you find today? They're like, I'm looking for sheet music. I know, right? What a fucking world. Sheet music. You're looking for sheet music? This is a sheet music store. You're going to find a lot of sheet music here. No, seriously, but be more specific. I don't know what I'm looking for. Just look around then. But then sometimes they do know what they're looking for, and we don't have it sometimes. But we can order it in. So I have to go and I have to make an account for them. And when I make an account, I need to know what their name is. You know, obviously. So I'm like, so what's your name? And she's like, oh, I'm Jenny Reichenschlaling. And I'm like, okay, how do you spell that? And she's like, Jenny. Oh, you don't say, huh? I know how to spell Jenny. I don't know how to spell that name. Ma'am, you should marry a man with the last name Jones, because nobody's going to want to spell that shit anywhere. No, I didn't actually say that. I just said, bitch, I know how to spell Jenny. How do you spell your last name? They can't fire me because they need me. Oh, they'd be so lost without me. Oh, they actually really don't want me to do well in comedy because then I'd have to stay in my fucking podunk town and work at the music store forever.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's great. I'm not being funny right now.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Oh, thank
Your
you.
employers are happy.
What?
Your employers are happy.
Yeah, sure. Anyway. Oh, I get it now. Yeah. Well, thanks to Facebook and also Instagram, in the future, funerals are going to be really long because we have to get through the slideshow. And they're going to be really long. Okay. Yeah. That's about what I should have expected. Sometimes when I'm checking out someone at the cash register, they'll say to me, "Can I get a sack with that?" It's like, "You mean a bag?" "Yeah, a sack. Can I get a sack with that, boy?" "Yeah, you can get a bag with this. Now get out of the store." Okay, thank you very much for your endurance.
Yeah, thank you, Ian Ryland Smith. That is fun. I don't care if everybody's in person by the time I die, and if I survive COVID. I want my funeral to be on Zoom still. I want it to be on Zoom. I want it to be on Zoom. No, funerals are weird. Funerals are weird because like your friend can die, and then you have to like do a school project. Basically, you have to do homework. You have to put pictures on a board and like pick the best picture. Why do you have to do that? Do that later. Like send the slideshow or the poster board to people later on. But your friend just dies and you have to do homework. It's a bad thing. Our next comedian is not a bad thing. Please welcome our next comedian, Patty Mann's back.
Thank you. Oh boy, you don't tell your employer that you do comedy? You gotta let them know. I don't tell my employer. I just say, oh, I do a lot of cam girl stuff. You can't watch any of it. It's way too risque. I'm just on the internet, just doing little songs and dances. Speaking of the internet, I have a Spanish tutor on this italki website. I know, it's great. I give this guy on the internet money and he talks to me. It is so much fun, man. I think, am I going to go on 90 Day Fiance? This is going to be fantastic. Oh, I'm going to be the worst person. I'm just going to yell all the time. I'm going to be so, you think the person they sponsor is the crazy one. No, it's going to be me the whole time. I don't know. My dad got vaccinated, which I guess is good. I'm happy kind of. I mean, but it's good, but also he thinks every show on HGTV is called The Gay Brothers. So I'm not really sure if that's really that's who we're vaccinating. They have grocery store employees, essential. So nope, they're just going to go vaccinate him. But I do like my dad. He just sent me pepper spray and a whistle via the mail so I could, quote, fight the Proud Boys. No, Dad, no. I cannot take on domestic terrorists. I'm sorry. If I'm going to fight, they're going to win. I'm not going to try to fight them, man. I am trying to fight. My stupid orthodontist, that fucking bitch. Let me tell you what she did. You don't call your orthodontist a fucking bitch, whatever. I broke my retainer flossing. That dumb bitch. She wants to charge me $400 to fix it. I'm like, you idiot. I only spent $2 on the dental floss to break it. I feel like you should have your prices match, okay? Oh man, the moral of the story, don't floss your teeth. It's not worth it. You're just not worth it. 3 of my coworkers are pregnant right now. Yeah. So yeah, everyone's like, congratulations. Yeah. So Brenda Lovejoy. I got new birth control this year and no one told me congratulations. So whatever, that's fine. After I got it, I texted every boy in my phone. I was like, new IUD, who dis? Nobody. No, I mean, I had the celibacy virus before the pandemic hit, but that's just because I'm unpleasant. But I got this trial to HBO and I'm trying to find shows to watch. I'm not watching Game of Thrones. I don't care. I'm not going to watch it. I don't like that space stuff. It is not for me. Yeah, they have dragons in space, right? I got really into the show Real Sports, about documentaries about sports. I'm athletic. No, I'm not athletic. I get out of breath eating chips. That has happened to me. But they had a segment about participation trophies and why they're ruining our children, because I guess some journalists don't like joy. I mean, God, how long have we been in this Pangea thing for over a year, right? Where's my stupid participation trophy? I deserve it, man. I am a millennial, so I don't get out of bed for less than 10,000 participation trophies a day. Let's see, internet. Ooh. I want to go on real dates again. That's going to be so much fun because my favorite thing to do on real dates that I was trying to get them to tell me why Die Hard is a Christmas movie. And then I'd leave and come back in half an hour. And they'd still be there talking about why Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I don't care. I don't really, it just doesn't matter. Who was in Die Hard? Billie Eilish? Who was that? Bruce Willis? They are the same person in my mind. I don't care. All right. Thank you guys.
Yeah. Thank you, Betty Mansbach. Thank you very much. That was great. I like your point on breaking things with things that are cheap, because I broke my laptop last week, like I discussed, and I broke it on a $20 whiskey, like that's as cheap as you could go and be drinkable. And where did this recommendation for a $20 whiskey come from? I'm going to tell you. I watched the movie Waking Ned Devine, the 1998 Irish classic, saw that the old people in it were drinking something called Paddy's, looked it up and ordered it, and then drank it last week. Oh my God, because on St. Patrick's Day, I was like, I need to watch a real Irish movie. And so I Googled, I actually messaged my friend who worked at a video store, some Irish movies, and he sent me that one. He's like, I don't fucking know any Irish movies. This movie was funny when I saw it in the theater as a child, and then I got it, but it was pretty cool. I mean, a kid drinks and smokes in it, so it's pretty like close to a documentary. Our next meeting coming up, please welcome the wonderful Bontrager out of Chicago.
I guess I should use a mic. I don't know. I bet you well, anyways, fuck it. So you know that stuff they use to brainwash you? Well, they made it an app, so now you can brainwash yourself. Oh, hey, little Gregory Matthews spawn. Yeah, so they got the flashing lights, it gives you the nice brainwashies. Now you can get that app and give yourself a nice psychedelic experience at home. And I don't really trust my cell phone to be in charge of giving me psychedelic experiences. I barely trust mushrooms. The stuff tastes really gross. Fuckers are always playing with your mind. I think the only way I'm gonna let a cell phone trip me out is if it's running on Crab Pixel Display. So they found out if you get a little over 16 million soldier crabs, you can play Doom. So the way you use it is this is nerd stuff. I barely understand this. So you have 8 crabs operating each logic gate, and then you got crab pixels, and you can play Doom on the beach. And then maybe the 5th season of Gilligan's Island gets a little spicier. They got video games on that shit. We were talking about Lord stuff. Let's do comedians talk about the Bible who are atheists.
Lord.
Reader's Digest. So let's see here. Jacob's father was dying, and he wanted to obviously give all the family stuff to the eldest. Let's say his name is Joe Gorman. Anyways, the father wants to give Joe the family, and the mother's like, I don't know. Joe Gorman's kind of a dick. She's saying this about her own son. Mrs. Gorman, she's saying, Joe's kind of a handful. Jacob, I want you to win. I want you to have the family right. So she's like, your brother Joe, he's pretty hairy. So here's what you do. You go out, you skin a sheep, you wear the sheep, you put it over your supple Bontrager body, and you go next to your dying dad, and he'll just feel your furriness, and he'll think you're Joe, and he'll give you the family right. And that's how that works. So mom's in on it, sends the old Bontrager in there, sends me in there to dying dad. Dad's like, is that you, Joe? My favorite son? Have you come to take the family right? Oh, I got you. I was timing. So Mr. Gorman, our father, touches my hairy arm. He thinks I'm Joe, gives me the family right. and that means I have to kill Joe Gorman tomorrow. So tune in tomorrow to see a very practically religious experience. It's going to be the first on Zoom. Pay now. Paywall. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Bontrager, Doom Crab. I love Doom Crab. I'm obsessed with Doom Crab. I think it's great.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I owe a lot to Doom. Doom is what got me into developing. They open sourced it a couple years after it was released, and I did a lot of modifications to it. And that's how I taught myself to code, and that's what I do for a living now. On that note, earlier we were talking about letting your employers know if you do comedy or not. I just recently started putting 10 years of public speaking experience on my resume. I didn't put comedy, but I put that. I and the funny thing is, like, I was in Toastmasters, which is like an international speaking club, at 2 different companies I work for. And you know what I did? I ran the lighting, I ran the timing. I'm like, I've been timing people for years. I'm really good at this. I could do it without the stopwatch. I know 4 minutes. Just naturally, just a natural beat. But yeah, someone finally called me out, and he goes, where the heck have you been speaking for 10 years? And then I had to tell him that I was a comedian, and then he asked me to tell him a joke, and it went downhill, but I still got the job. So that is interesting. And you know what? He asked me, he goes, what's your closer? And I go, what are you talking about? And he goes, you said you're a comedian. I'm like, how do you know that term? Stop it. And then he's like, well, then I'll tell you a joke. Because I just told him, I go, my stuff is so dirty. My stuff is so raunchy, cannot be repeated at work. No, it would be offensive. I go by a different name when I perform it. And then he told me a Whitney Houston joke. So that's how it goes. Our next comedian coming up, please welcome Michael Cooper.
Hey, y'all. I hope y'all are doing good. Hey, y'all know what I bet you is terrifying right now is an in-person microbiology class.
Mm-hmm.
That's either terrifying or not a very good microbiology class.
Mm-hmm.
Turn to page 1 of your textbook. You'll notice in bold print it says, "Get the fuck out of here, you idiot." Cool. This works. I am always confident that I'm losing my job, and that's because I have the kind of anxiety that makes people think I did something. And I'm always sure I'm going to jail. And that's not anxiety. That's because I got the kind of anger issues make me think I did something. Like the other day, someone was slow in line in front of me. And as I walked past them on my way out, I went, "Sorry about that," and just kept going. They have no clue what I thought I did. Okay. So, I was recently diagnosed with a disease. Kind of gross, so be ready for this. I told the doctor, I said, hey, every 4 to 5 weeks, I become sick to my stomach for several days, and then I'll be fine for another 4 to 5 weeks, and then it happens again and again. It's like a cycle. And they said, yes, you have cyclic vomiting syndrome.
Oh.
And I was like, well, you made that name up on the spot. I'm guessing it's not curable because the name of the disease is just a condensed list of the symptoms. Like if the doctor tells you you have fucked up arm syndrome, you're leaving there with a fucked up arm. That's just, they're not fixing that. That shit's not in Latin. They haven't studied it. This is going great. I'm having like a bad day. Like, I don't know if I forgot my antidepressants or if I talked to my mother on Easter. I don't know which of those things happened. I feel like I keep forgetting my meds and then I end up like this. by like 9 o'clock at night, just I can't figure out what's going on. I don't know how much time I have left.
1 minute.
I see that, Mark. I mean that I have an anger problem and I don't take very good care of myself.
Ugh.
This can't last long. I feel like I brought in like really intense energy, but I didn't do any of the bits about being angry. Like I have a lot of bits that are about being angry that could have really matched my energy right now, but instead I was like microbiology classes, huh? Yeah, okay. I gotta go listen to Freebird while I work on an interpretive dance. Bye.
Yeah, Michael Cooper, cutting edge dancing. I like it. You like to see it. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Michael Cooper. Nobody famous has had that disease yet. That's the only problem. You would know it. You'd be like, is that the one Tom Hanks had? No. Okay, never mind. Our next comedian coming up from Chicago. Please welcome Jolly Bean and her bears.
Hey, so I heard marathon is back this year. Oh, we bear runners call it the marathon. You know what? I was registered for a marathon, but it only gave me a toothache. A toothache? Yes, because of training for marathon, I finally get an excuse to eat as much as possible. So I ate too much Jolly Beans, so it only gave me a toothache. Actually, I was ready. I finished a half marathon. No, I registered marathon. I finished half of it. Wow, you did a half marathon. I'm pretty impressed. No, you know what? The great philosopher Aristotle said, well, begin is half done. And I only run the first 100 meters, but I run it very well. So you see, I finished half of the marathon. Nice. Oh, I haven't been to the movie theater for a while. The last time I was in the movie theater, there was a Bob guy sitting in front of me, and I believe he has his head is waxed, so it's very shiny, or maybe it's just that shiny. So, and as I keep looking at his head, a song suddenly rang in my head. Shining bright like diamond, shining bright like diamond. That the movie I was watching is Uncut Gems, and I found a diamond right in front of my eyes. How lucky I am. Oh, I like this joke. All that glitters is not gold, but also your bald head. Oh, nice. You quoted William Shakespeare. But why isn't William Shakespeare called Bill Shakespeare? Well, probably because he's dead. So even if you bill Shakespeare, you won't receive anything, right? Yeah, maybe. I'm not a fan of William Shakespeare. You see this one, as you like it. No, I haven't read the book yet, but he just wants me to assume I like it. What kind of attitude is that? And look at that one, Henry V. What does the V stand for? I believe it's Henry Velocity. Yeah, that sounds a fun superhero novel. Yeah, I will read the Henry V. Okay, I think that's my time.
Yeah. Thank you, Jolly Bean and the Bears. Loving learning about Shakespeare. Everybody gets a little bit of history on some English literature, and I think that's good. I think some of us needed to not talk about religion for a few minutes. Jesus Christ, that's all we've been talking about this whole time.
Yeah, they have religion bits, but not for today. Because they don't talk about Jesus Christ. They just talk about the general God.
Yeah, I mean, either way, we are religious leaning. We are a very leaning to very extreme conservative right, Mike, if you haven't noticed. Our next coming up.
You're gonna make everybody do that.
Bears almost made it to national TV this year, actually.
There you go. Our next meeting coming up. It's his time now. I want to get through this because I'm going to eat more food and fix my computer live on Zoom. Please welcome Chai Longo.
Thanks, Mark.
You know, when it comes to something like dining, I usually prefer to cook at home because I don't feel like tipping 47% now for the new normal. Just so some idiot can dress up like a guy from the Andromeda strain and put my food on a little robot to come over to me, you know, just so I can protect everyone. But when I dine at home, meaning I cook my own food, the most frustrating thing is when I'm trying to grab a recipe from some food blogger, but they spend the first 5 pages just talking about their own shit. Oh, I made the souffle after my first kiss, but then after we got divorced, I created a new addition to the souffle, so it'll now flatten out. Yeah, I don't give a shit. But you know what's even more annoying than not being able to cook the food you're trying to research? It's not being able to eat the food when you're at a restaurant. So imagine you're dining out with your friends, it's been a long ass time, and everyone's got their food, but then this one self-important douchebag has to do a toast. And what they're doing is they're saying all this stuff, which you know is totally like a humble brag. Well, you know, I'm sorry we took so long for us to get together here, you know. I've been putting in so much work, 120 hours a week, you know. Sometimes I wonder if even making partners worth it. Anyway, all I'm saying is I kind of understand Judas's point of view now. He just wanted to eat the fucking meal. And, you know, the more I think about it, I feel like Jesus would have been the guy who promised to take all his pals out for dinner, but he only brought exact change without taking into account tax and tip, and he was trying to pawn off an expired Groupon. But here's the thing, you know, I still feel like what allegedly happened to him is a little bit over the top. I wouldn't kill him. I would just maybe, you know, beat him like a migrant worker in Dubai just before the Olympics. But, you know, yeah, there's plenty of beatings going on right now. And the more I hear about Asian violence and the more shit I see online, I feel like the people who are just filming or just standing around not doing anything, they should officially be called NPCs, non-playable characters. Just like in a video game, you know, the people that you get to mess with. Because they don't do anything. They don't exist. They don't count as humans. And when you dehumanize someone long enough and believe they don't count as humans, you can do anything you fucking want. But I digress. You know, I feel like the reason that happens, it's like this. Have any of you ever stayed in an Airbnb? You know, you rent a house from someone. What happens when you're on vacation and then the host calls you and says, hey, I hope you're having a great time, but just FYI, the fireplace or the hot tub's broken, so we're sending a maintenance tech out there. But don't worry, it's not your fault, it's our fault. We just gotta fix it. And you're like, okay. And that tech shows up and they start doing stuff. And you know that they belong there, but you feel kind of weird. You just kind of keep doing whatever you were doing. You know, I'm in the bubble bath. I asked the tech to hand me some shampoo. It's like, I don't know. But anyway, I feel like when it comes to racism and a lot of innocent bystanders, it's hard for both Black people and Asians. For Black people, there's tone policing. You don't want to look like the angry guy or angry woman. For Asians, we don't want to look bad in front of our community. Here's what we both need to do as groups. Bring a leash in public. When someone starts yelling at you in your face, yell at the top of your lungs, where is my fucking dog? Okay? White people will crawl through a mile of shit and broken glass like Andy Dufresne at the end of Shawshank Redemption for animal fucking rights.
Yeah.
And by the time they get out of that tunnel, they will go John Wick on that Karen like she was Michael Michelle Vick. John Wick on Michael Vick. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah, Ty Longo. No big surprise. The guy with no sleeves went dark. That's never a surprise.
No tan lines, brother.
I just look at that. I just wanted to point that out. So that's funny.
I forgot to wear my hat for this. Shit, dude. Seriously.
Oh, let's see this hat. Put the hat back on. We got to see this hat.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
Take the time to show the hat, then we have to see the hat, or else I'm gonna be upset.
What's about
White
the hat?
Jesus, and then there's real Jesus.
Whoa.
I don't think Jesus. I didn't know he wore either of those. Did
Yeah,
he?
I don't think those were in style back then.
No,
This
not.
was a
and-
song and dance, man. Everyone knows that.
Hey, you choose your
Jesus,
crown
the
of thorns.
music.
I'll choose my crown of thorns.
It's good. Yeah.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Alongo. I want to tell a story real quick. I stayed in Louisville a couple years ago at an Airbnb, and there was a problem where the shower was not draining well, and I was calling the guy to see what to do, and he's like, "Oh, there's a bottle of Drano under the sink." I'm like, "Oh, so this is a problem you knew about and like foresaw and are not fixing." And I was like, "Oh, this sucks. This is gonna be a terrible vacation." But then I walked through the house and I saw a music award there, and then I realized I was staying at a musician's house who I was a fan of. And then I was like, you know what? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about fixing it. This is great because you're gonna end up doing like a GoFundMe, to fix this, and I'll end up supporting it that way anyways, like you did when you broke your leg. So this.
Who was it?
It was Scott from the band Wax Fang. I don't know if you know the band Wax.
Oh no, I don't know.
Wax Fang is a really good band. Check him out. Scott's a really cool dude. He has a blocked bathtub. Our next meeting coming up. Please welcome from Baltimore, Richard Johnson.
Woohoo!
Hey! I mean, honestly, I just want to see Jelly Bean and those Bears for like 4 minutes again. I'll take up my spot for that. It's pretty dope. I don't care. But hey, yes, my name is Richard Johnson. Hey, yes, you're back. But no, my name really is Richard Johnson. It means Dick. Yes, it's a real thing. My dad's name is Dick. My granddad's name is Dick. I come from a long line of dicks. I come from like a parliament of dicks. I understand that. It's in my blood. I have to be the first person to marry somebody named Clit to be the first guy to do that. But I know, I really do. I have a girlfriend, and she calls me pet names like Sweetie, Honey, Sugar, which is it's cute. It's all right. It's kind of fucked up because she knows I'm diabetic. I can't have any of that. It's called me Sweet and Low or something like that. But I do. I love her. I love her. We go together. We're like yin and yang, white on rice, Quentin Tarantino and the N-word. We go together. That's how we are. I love it, baby. And also, if anybody knows, originally I'm from Frederick, Maryland. If you don't know anything about horror movies, I mean, there's this movie called The Blair Witch Project I just saw like a week ago. I did not know that was from there. And all I could think about is, why do white people just go into places they don't belong? That's all I need to know. Why is that a thing? Every white person has like Christopher Columbus disease. You don't need to go everywhere. You don't need to explore stuff. Just stay to the rivers and the lakes you're used to, like TLC says. R.I.P. Left Eye. Anyway, that's all I need to know. And hanging out with my white friends too, I found out another movie that I shouldn't fucking know with my blackness. It's called Teeth. Yes. If anybody knows what Teeth is, it's about a woman who has literal teeth in her vagina. And all I can think about is, why the fuck does she have braces? What the fuck do you do? Does she see an OBGYN or orthodontist for that? That's all I was thinking. Like, what do you do in that situation as an orthodontist? What do you tell her? Like, all right, you got some like dried up semen in there. You got to make sure you use Listerine before and after sex. You got to floss both your gums. Like, that's the kind of things you have to do. And I understand how Asians feel when they dishonor their community, because I'm a Black vegan. So every time I go to a cookout, they just give me the most disgusting look. I mean, granted, thank you. I'm already Black as it is. I'm already a large dude, so I'm already playing life on hard. And I'm an alcoholic. And I work at a liquor store, which is like a candy store for me. So I'm just fucking myself over even more. It's a great life. Oh, and by the way, 4 years ago, I got a DUI, which was fantastic. And I never knew, I tried to use a blow go, which was kind of weird, right? You know, they tell you to blow, and that's what it says. But then for some reason, it started telling me to jerk it off, which was kind of weird. I didn't know it was going to talk to me like that. It was like telling me use more spit, make sure you gargle the motherboard. It was telling me all this weird shit. I didn't know what was going on, but now I feel like I was a bitch to my own car, which is fantastic. That's my time, y'all. Thank you. Y'all have a good night.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Richard Johnson. Love it. Good stuff. That's really funny stuff. So Patty's whiskey then too. So he knows the kind of quality alcohol I was spilling on my computer last week. Okay, please welcome to the stage, I think a newcomer to the mic, Kathy Zhao.
Hi. Hello, everyone. It's my first time here. Yeah, I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area. Yeah, so it's not that late as you today. And how is your Sunday going?
Good.
Yay. You think I really care? I filed my tax last week, and then I realized how broke I am. Anyone who pays more tax than me could be my sugar daddy. And anyone who pays less tax than me has to be the president. I also realized that the IRS is actually a competitor of DMV. They are running in a game called Who Picks Up the Phone First, Who Lost. Yeah, I waited in line for over 45 minutes to speak to a real person, but he didn't give me a real answer. And anyway, we all know IRS really sucks. And there are so many things really suck, like the gunshot happening in Atlanta. A white guy went to a massage store, like 2 massage stores, and he claimed that he has sex addiction. So he killed 8 women, and 6 of them were Asian women who look just like me. I don't understand sex addiction. I believe that if your penis is too hard, you can punch it soft. If it's too long, you can cut it short. To eliminate your sex addiction, all you need to do is to have a pair of scissors, go down your body and cut off whatever is under your pubes. Don't go out to massage parlors to cut off others' lives. Yeah, he went to the wrong place. And the police captain, Jay Baker, this guy said the murderer just had a bad day. Wow, Captain, my captain. Seriously? You said that just because of what you have, or you just lack of sex addiction? No, I really had a bad day because of this captain. So I want him to disappear. So I've been talking about this with my boyfriend, and he thinks I'm not sweet enough. I really can't be sweet. So many people are suffering from diabetes. What do you want me to do? My boyfriend also asked me a question like, why seeing Chinese virus is racist, but seeing Chinese food names such as dim sum is not racist? I want to tell him, like, say McDonald's to a white person and then say white trash to the same person. Good luck. So I decided to break up with my boyfriend with my working email to make it official. And 1 month later, he emailed me back with his wedding invitation. Wow, my Lady Gaga, my white trash got recycled. Thank you. Those are my jokes. This is Kathy Zhao.
Yeah. One more time for Kathy, everybody. Yes.
Yay.
We have 3 more comics, and then the Feds has been in comedy. A lot of people have stuck around, so this is going to be a good, fun, real one. This is going to be a real one. In the meantime, put your hands together for Gregory Matthews.
Woo, woo, woo.
Oh, shit. Is it really me? I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, it's like a real mic.
Oh, yeah. So I like to play this game when other comedians come on and they do their thing, and my wife's yelling at me immediately. That's a good start. Being too loud. I like to do this thing when other comedians come on and they're talking and they say things like, most comedians are funny, but some of you aren't. I like to always think that they're talking about me, and I like to think of it as the worst, right? So when someone's like, oh, most comedians are funny, but not all of them. I think they're talking about me. Like when Laura was saying how not everyone on this mic is a dickhead, I like to think she's talking about me being a dickhead. And so I know she's not. I see you, Laura.
Oh, no,
And
yeah.
then- And I went back and I like to go rewatch these. And last week, at the end of my set, Mark said, Greg Matthews' set does way better with a baby. And so I always like to think, the worst of it. And so I assume that was Mark's way of telling me that I suck. And the only reason anyone watches me is because of the baby. So that's the fun game that I like to play mentally. Okay. So because it's Easter and Jesus and everything, and everyone's talking about religion, I want to get into that hot action of talking about God and stuff. So here's my abortion stuff, because that's what we should be doing today, right? So sometimes I think I'll never be good at stand-up comedy because, you kind of need to have trauma in your life to be good at stand-up comedy. But then I remember that I went to Catholic school for 13 years. I served my time. I did a hard 13 years in Catholic school, K through 8, and then another 9 through 12 in high school. And K through 8 is just a blur. You're being a kid. It's a nightmare. But high school's a little bit different. High school's a time for firsts. It's the first time trying a cigarette. It's maybe your first kiss. The first time watching an abortion video during class. And I say first because it wasn't the only time we watched an abortion video in school. But the first time that's really the special one, isn't it? Everyone remembers their first time. You tell your grandkids about your first time. You know what I mean? It's the special one. For me, I was 14 years old. It was my freshman year of high school. And I watched it on a VHS with a bunch of my friends, which disturbingly also describes the first time I watched a porn. So they were basically trying to show, I know, it's terrible. I don't know. So they were basically trying to show us that abortion is gross and therefore it should be illegal. But I think that's a really bad argument. I mean, Peeps and deviled eggs and Ted Cruz are gross, but I don't think any of those things should be illegal. If a woman wants to abort Ted Cruz, I think that should be her choice and protected by a constitutional amendment. I mean, I just totally support women's rights. I went to the Women's March. I thought about putting on a pussy hat.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Is that all it takes to get me? Okay. So, by the way, fun fact: the bishop of the diocese that my school belonged to was the first Catholic bishop ever indicted for sexual abuse. We're number one. We're number one. I would be screaming that, but the kids are trying to sleep. I'll get yelled at again, and the whole goal of this mic now is to just get through it without getting yelled at by my wife. Where'd she go? She's in the other room. Okay. The second time I watched an abortion video in high school was my junior year, but it wasn't in class. It was a full school assembly. The school invited someone in from the Catholic Coalition, which turned out the high school didn't look into at all before letting them speak. They are a very far-right conservative organization, and the school was just like, yeah, come on. And they let this woman speak for 6 hours, a full school day. All I remember from the morning session was her arguing about homosexuality was wrong because, and she was literally doing this in front of all these teenagers. And so when we get back from lunch, we come back from lunch, we immediately dive into this abortion video. And now this is like full auditorium, projector on the small movie screen, but instead of actual sounds of the abortion, they've replaced this with light rock. Think like instrumental eagles. And the woman explained to us that they had done this because they didn't want it to be disturbing to us. They're like, we can't show this to the kids. We can't just show them an abortion video. What if we put light rock into it? And then they thought that was appropriate to show to the kids. But I think this is outrageous because everyone knows the correct genre of music to play during an abortion video is ska. Thank you. I'm Greg Matthews. Follow me on MySpace.
Yeah, Greg Matthews. I want to point out something about Greg. Greg Matthews has started doing comedy on Zoom. He's a Zoom comic, and I think he's doing this just so, like, he's doing these sets just so when he goes out every night to do in-person mics, his wife is happier about it. So like, sorry. Okay, we're just gonna keep.
That's awesome, though. Good for you, man.
Good for you, man. We'll see you soon
That
in
was
person.
sincere.
We'll see you soon. Well, we will. But unfortunately, no, or fortunately, next we have to see Adam Quaslow. Just kidding. We'll have to see him. He's a friend of the room. He's a friend of Reed's. A friend is on the mic. Adam Quaslow.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
Shut up.
So when my dad died, he left me more than he left my brother because he thought I would need it more. Yeah. Have your parents ever called you a fuck up legally? Like, My dad's last will and testament was Adam's gonna need some help. I'm not worried about the one I'm proud of, but I pressed my luck and had a second one. Like when cleaning out his old place, ended up finding out that he had diabetes and he never told me. And I get it. That's his personal medical information, but I'm his son. That's my personal medical information. Like, there's a reason doctors ask if you have a family history of diabetes and not scrapbooking, you know? Like, it's just weird, like, with the funeral, like, it was 60 degrees out. Like, why the fuck did I have to wear a suit? Like, why do I have to be crying and sweaty? You know? Like, when a loved one dies, you should get to wear pajamas. Like, it's just now I'm putting him under the covers. That's the difference. And like, you have so many people trying to offer you condolences, whether they know how to or not, right? And you just, like, I had 20 texts that just said, hey, man, sometimes dads just die, you know? It's not like they mean it. It's just, when I found out, you know, all these thoughts started rushing through my head, good and bad. You know, like, I remembered when I would cry as a kid and he'd say something like, if you don't quiet down, I'll give you something to really cry about. And I had no idea that he was threatening to fall in the bathroom.
Oh.
There's been a lot of talk about separating art from artists. Like, I get it. I don't want to support artists who do terrible things, but I understand when people say I didn't do anything. Why don't I get to listen to my favorite song? So I figured out a compromise. After the mic tonight, feel free to listen to your favorite R. Kelly album, but I want you to promise me it's going to be an illegal copy. Woody Allen should not make another dime off of his movies. The guy selling bootlegs outside of Walgreens has mouths to feed, though, okay? I'll watch a Louis C.K. special, but I need to see a watermark for a torrent website in the middle. And like, I'm a comic. I have friends who grew up loving Bill Cosby. One of my best friends does stand up because of Bill Cosby, and he had to learn that his hero was a rapist. And it really makes me appreciate that my hero, George Carlin, was just a miserable alcoholic. The only ones he hurt were his family and his liver, and that's okay. It's just weird to me that people still try to fly the Confederate flag and say, oh, it's my heritage. I've never seen somebody with a swastika tattoo and thought, oh, he must be German. Okay, there's a reason, like, hey, I don't give a fuck if it's your heritage. They swore our country as their enemy. All right, Luke Skywalker is never going to put up a portrait of Darth Vader in his house and say, well, he's my dad. Blood's thicker than water. Like, the only difference between an ISIS flag and a Confederate flag is that ISIS hated more countries than just us. Like, ISIS is the Confederacy if they diversified their portfolio. Bye.
Yeah, Adam Quaslow doing it. Guys, we have one more comic and then the fastest minute comedy. So this is awesome. I think only 4 people out of the 15 people that performed left. So that's amazing. That's a very good percentage of hardcore fastest minuters. In the meantime, Josh D. Donato.
Woo! Look at that.
Hey there. You know, I guess I never really thought about it, but I guess my dad, who died about 2 years ago, really thought that I was going to be fine because he didn't leave me a fucking dime. So just using Adam's logic. Okay, great. What is that prepared material or anything I will ever say to anybody other than Laura Hug or my therapist? No, it isn't. And Laura Hug, my junior therapist. So, yeah, Easter. As a Jew, I don't know what to say, I guess. I do have, it's funny, I do have a Christian friend named Laura, different one than the Laura who's here, who's not as touchy about this, but like sometimes as a Jew, about this, sometimes as a Jewish person, I'll just say the words Jesus Christ and not think about it, just like Jesus Christ, it's hot out. And then and my friend Laura just like winces and, convulses just because, it's her savior or whatever. And, so I don't want to make her feel uncomfortable. And, and there's probably some other Christians lying around this country somewhere. So I feel like I should change how I talk, but I still want to blaspheme, but it really wouldn't work to say like, Buddha, it's hot out. No one would know what I was doing. So I came up with some ways to kind of be blasphemous and kind of get the point across. Just like Buddha's a convicted sex offender, it's hot out. Or stab Muhammad in the eye with a knife made of cork. I'm tired. L. Ron Hubbard throws his own cock. You're good at Yahtzee. Anything. What do I got left, Mark?
Mark might have gone to do laundry.
Oh, you're muted. I know when I ask, that means I have a
1 minute remaining.
That's the deal. Well, I guess I'll just mention this because this happened since my last Fun Sim appearance. I did got my first shot of the visor thing on Monday, and getting the next one in a few weeks. And I'm just really excited to be done with this COVID bullshit. And, I cannot wait to, get back to worrying about getting cancer like a normal person. You know what I mean? Let's get our priorities straight here, huh? All right. Thank you. Good night.
Yeah. Thank you, Josh D. Donato. That was awesome. I love it. There are obviously a lot of Christians here. We've been talking about Jesus all night before you arrived. It's been very disturbing and strange, but not off brand for us because, like I said, we're the right-leaning mic. There
Praise
you go.
the Lord. Praise the Lord.
Our next video coming up. Go on camera. Are you there, Tristan? Tristan, are you there?
Shit. I gotta change my shirt. Give me 1 second. I'm wearing my employee. I'm wearing my employee outfit. I can't have that on camera.
Oh yeah, that's
well, not with that attitude. We're not going to show anybody.
Put your badge over your name tag.
Wear it backwards.
Tristan, just do it shirtless like a gangster rapper in a 90s
Hell yeah,
video.
let's see those shoulders.
Oh shit, go full Speedo like MC Hammer in the Pumps and a Bump video.
Yeah.
Tristan, you could do it without.
I really thought I had more time. Shit. I just woke up.
You could do it without going on camera. You could just do it like this.
No.
Yeah.
You do it like it's radio.
Amanda Cohen is here. Maybe
Amanda, are you ready? Tristan's changing his shirt. Are you?
I'm always ready.
All right, here we go.
You're ready. Have you?
Thank you. Thank you.
Praise the Lord.
I'm super excited to have our next comic. She was a big friend of the room when she was living in Chicago. Really excited to
miss you all so much.
Perform on Zoom with her now. It's really fun. Amanda Cohen, yeah.
Praise the Lord.
Thank you. I literally just was doing another show, and Mark texted and yeah, we can squeeze you in. I'm like, oh please. So thank you for getting me in here. By the way, I'm hosting a mic that starts at 10:30 your time, and anyone who wants to do that. Message me and I will be more than happy to send you the link if you want to stay up late and do another mic.
Yeah.
How much time am I doing?
4 minutes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks. So I'm hearing an echo.
It was Tristan. I got him.
Is that me?
No, it's fine. Sorry, I got it.
Okay. Anywho.
Oh, it's Tristan. Tristan.
No, really.
Tristan, I'm muting you because there's echo, Tristan.
Yeah, that's what that was. Okay, so when I lived in Chicago, I once took a vacation to St. Martin because I used to have money back in the day. And at the end of the vacation, I had to fly back from St. Martin to Chicago, but we had to stop in New Jersey. And but there was a blizzard, so all flights to New Jersey were canceled. And, you know, oh, I'm stuck in paradise, I know. Yeah, but stuck in paradise with no money, not the same. This is the end of the vacation. All my cards are maxed out, and I'm at the airport, and they tell me, yeah, your flight goes through Jersey. There's a blizzard. We can't get you on another flight today. And I said, okay, when can you get me on another flight? And they were like, okay, Jersey, click, 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 2 weeks. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure Jersey will be plowed in 1 week. And like the whole state. And they said, sorry, this first flight, we can get you 2 weeks. And I'm like, okay, I can get the cheapest motel on the island. I'll buy some bread and cheese. And then I thought about it. I said, wait a minute. I don't have to go through New Jersey. I just need to end up in Chicago. And they're like, clickety, clickety, like 4 days. Like, okay. You didn't have to go to Jersey. I think, you know, that is probably an answer to most of life's biggest problems. Do you have to go to New Jersey? And if you don't, problem solved. You know, that is the moral of the story, is you don't have to go to Jersey. I think every story should end that way. And I didn't have to go to New Jersey. I mean, just think of all the problems you could solve if you just didn't go to New Jersey. I mean, I think if you've never been to Jersey, your life is perfect. Congratulations. So, yeah, that was inspired by I did a show yesterday, and somebody was talking about trying to get out of Mumbai. He had to go from Mumbai to Delhi to Los Angeles. And I'm like, that is much worse. I would rather go to New Delhi than go to New Jersey, honestly. So I think he was lucky. I'm just happy that you guys are doing Zoom shows. I'm so sorry. I mean, it's been a year and I haven't done any of these mics. I'm so happy you're still doing it. Go, Mark. Yeah. You got to realize that for comedians, live comedy is like heroin. Okay, Zoom is methadone. Okay, this, you know, it's not the same. It's taking the edge off is what it's doing. We're not chasing the dragon here. We're just kind of running after a small lizard. That'll have to do. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Amanda Cullen.
Yeah, having you, Amanda. Thank you. I have a funny story that's relevant real quick. I was working in a job and I was planning to go to a music festival that happened to be in New Jersey. And I was flying out Friday and flying home late Sunday night. And I got laid off that Friday. Like right when I was leaving, I got laid off of my job. And my wife was like, are we still going to New Jersey? And I was like, yeah, I paid for it. And I was also proposing there, and I proposed in New Jersey. And then I lost my job. I lost my job and proposed within 3 days in New Jersey, which was very fitting of someone who just got laid off. I rented a Camaro. That's how serious I was.
Yes.
Mark, what did she say when you proposed? Did she say
she
yes?
thought about it? I don't know. We're married, right? That's all that matters. I'm just kidding. She said, yes, Adam, you've met my wife. Our next meeting coming up has changed his shirt. He's ready to go. Last comedian, unless any more enter, then the Fast Minute Comedy. Please welcome Tristan A. Smith.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Amanda, for taking that bullet for me. What's that?
Anytime. This is me. What?
Oh God, I'm still not ready to do a set. You're seeing sleep in my eyes. I literally just fell asleep in a work shirt, and then I was like, well, there's no way the mic's gonna be immediately. It's gonna have me, so I'll be fine. And apparently that's not what happened at all. And also I'm wearing a different work shirt from a company I used to work for, so this still is not nothing changed. All right, anybody familiar with the Mandela effect? Anybody know what that is?
Yes.
Yeah. For anybody who doesn't know, the Mandela effect is what you call it when white people are wrong. Instead of going, I made a mistake. What they instead say is, actually, I'm from another dimension, and in my dimension, everything's the exact same, but we call it Berenstein Bears, not Berenstain Bears. And like the mental gymnastics required to pull that off is kind of amazing because it means two things are true. It means first off, you're the first person in human history to ever discover alternate universes, and then second, it means you're the only person to ever travel between them. And you know, like imagine traveling to another universe where it's just the bears that are different. Like your father's dead, and you chose another universe where he's also dead. You went through the 5 steps of grief twice because you wanted a world with less Jewish bears. You wanted less Jewish bears that badly that you had to change universes because you're that anti-Semitic. You needed some bears that just sounded better. Like that was an insane thought to me. Another thing I was thinking about recently, I don't know if you guys know with QAnon, if you know what QAnon is, but for anybody who doesn't, QAnon is a group of conspiracy theorists who believe that there's an elite group of pedophiles based in Hollywood. And they also go to church. I don't know if you've noticed, but if you're looking for an elite group of pedophiles, have you tried the church? Like, I don't know how to tell them. I think that call's coming from inside the house, you know, like that. And there's one last thing I vaguely remember doing. So I'm on Facebook, I'm on like social media all the time, and I feel like I see a lot of posts from people talking about like traveling somewhere. They'll talk about how they had to go on vacation because the pandemic's getting to them. It's hurting them mentally, and they can't take the pandemic anymore, so they traveled somewhere. And usually, whenever they make one of these posts, there's always someone in the comments saying like how messed up that is because like you can't travel during a pandemic. What's wrong with you? You're putting all of our lives at risk. And I get that. I agree with that if you travel domestically. If you travel internationally, I think I'm kind of okay with it. Because here's the thing, like in America, getting COVID is easy. That's just kind of what we do here. We're the best at getting COVID. Like that's not special getting COVID in America. But if you get COVID in another country, you've really done something like amazing. Like, you know that? like imagine getting COVID in Australia. You worked for that COVID. You didn't come back with a disease. You came back with a souvenir. All right, like that. Like imagine telling your doctor you got COVID because you went to Tampa Bay to see the Super Bowl. You had Tampa Bay COVID. What, at the same Citgo gas station everybody else did? You had to get COVID because you wanted to see Tom Brady do a thing he'd done 6 times earlier. That's the thing you had to do. All right, that's it for me. Give it up for Mark for hosting.
Yeah, Tristan. Yeah. Oh man, I wasn't ready for you to end. That was a great headliner.
Thank you.
I was getting a side stitch from laughing and being out of shape from COVID as well. No offense to anyone else. And hearing funny jokes on Zoom for once. No, I'm also just
oh Jesus Christ.
No, I'm just kidding. Everybody did great. I laughed at everybody except when I took a bathroom break. I couldn't hear you and I wasn't laughing. I'm sorry. Anyone that I missed for the bathroom break. Time for the fastest minute comedy. We're gonna do this. We're gonna start this off. If you have not been here before, I'm just gonna time you for 60 seconds and then bounce to the next comic. I'm not gonna give you a warning or anything. And I think I have a pretty good list of the 14 remaining comedians. Let me just double check that. Yes, I have the remaining list. We're going to start out with she left and came back. Something, I don't know, she went to go see somebody give a speech and come back. That was really cool. Laura Ha, go.
Laura,
go. Speaking of Jesus, I worked at this, on one job I had, this guy always had bootleg videos, and I never watched bootleg videos, and he's always like, hey, you want to watch this video on bootleg? No, this video. And then one time he was like, hey, I've got the Passion of the Christ on bootleg. And I was like, that's kind of the whole point of that story, you know? All right. I thought it was funny. I don't have anything to say. So get this video off of me.
Joe Gorman, go.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Back for fucking more, dude. Here we go. We got more stuff. We made it. I'm glad, dude. Like, look, I got 1 hour left of this, and then I can go back to pretending Jesus, to get Jesus in the back of my fucking mind. All right. I'm excited about that. Is like, it's like that. This was exhausting to even acknowledge the idea of Jesus. It would be insane for me to like be religious 24/7. Can you believe that some people wake up and they're like, I love Jesus? I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of that. I don't buy it. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. Not gonna fucking happen. How cool is that? Finally, a white guy that doesn't believe in God and stand-up comedy. Isn't that fucking refreshing? Isn't this like, whoa? Good thing we're all collectively sitting down right now, because we would be floored at that confident blasphemy. That's going to be the title of my new album, Confident Blasphemy. And it's me punching Jesus and walking through the gates of heaven despite living an immoral life. How about that, dude? Fucking powerful shit, dude.
Oh
Love
my
to die
God.
forever until I
my
die.
God.
Ian Ryan Smith, go, 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 go.
Yeah, I'm not a huge on conspiracy theories, but there is one that I hope is true, and that's the vaccine causes men to be sterile. Because, well, my life would be just a little happier. I'd get to keep my money, and I'd get to, you know what? That's why I only date pro-choice women, because I'm not about to have any kids. And also, I can't sleep with a conservative woman. Like, they're weird. They're like weird.
Yeah.
Anyway. If I ask her, hey, what if I accidentally get you pregnant? And she's like, I think I'll keep it. Then I say, I think I'll keep it too, in my pants.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I probably should forever. Thank you very much.
Ready,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
Bron,
Yeah, go, go,
Okay,
go,
we're
go.
vaccine. If you have a BMI over 30, you can get the vaccine. Are you fucking kidding me? I lost 100 pounds 10 years ago. Nobody told me that I could have just gotten a shot. This is bullshit. I'm going to go eat and gain it all back in like a day. I can do it. I swear I can do it. People think I lost weight because like to be like in shape or like to get healthier, to get hot. No, I lost all the weight because look at my arms. I crush it at bingo now. I'm just like, oh, 69. Woo! It's so great, man. I is a slippery slope into prop comedy, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, Bomb Trigger, go, go, go,
Shit.
go, go.
I'm sorry. I have to be very serious. Pollution is a very dire situation, you know? Most of us eat over a half pound of microplastics every year. You know, the air quality is bullshit. Why is it so fuzzy? Why is the air so fuzzy, guys? And you know, since science was founded, we have been monitoring, measuring, and comparing penis sizes, and penis sizes are getting smaller as a direct result of pollution. And we've all seen the effect of that small penises have on politics and even the economy. I think we need to turn this whole pollution thing around and get bigger dicks. And I didn't have to go through New Jersey.
Taylor, go, go, go,
Go, go, go, go.
People always get nosy and ask my wife and I why we only have one child. I like to tell them marriage is based on compromise. My wife wanted 2, I wanted 0, so we took an average. I know it's terrible. It's a little mean too. Hey, you know, after that dickless incel killed those women in Atlanta, there's one group we never considered, our weirdo friends with the Asian fetish. We need to check on them, make sure they're okay. You know, for the last month, their boners have been flying at half-mast. I hate this phrase. I don't know who needs to hear this, but next time you hear that, say, I don't know who needs to hear this, but learn to read the fucking room better. Missed opportunity for Viagra. Jesus Christ, I'm super hard. Who the hell? And he is risen. Schitt's Creek is just budget Arrested Development.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Nice.
Go,
Go, go, go, go.
So you guys know Chet Hayes. He's been talking about having a white boy summer. White boy summers lead to coma autumns. I don't know if you guys were aware of that. 'Cause you'll be justifiably attacked. Some people just have Netflix and chill kind of vibe, but I feel like my vibe is more like Hulu and butt stuff. Just who I am. So I mentioned I'm a professor, but I'm a cool professor. So the students started calling me Brofessor, and I've also told them the thing that I miss most about the pandemic is getting bottle service at the clubs, because I'm that kind of guy. And so now I refuse to respond to any student asking a question unless they call me Professor Bottle Service. I'm loving it. It's fantastic. And finally, LL Cool J stands for Ladies Love Cool James, which would make my rap name WBT Lukewarm G, which stands for Women Barely Tolerate Lukewarm Greg. Thank you. Follow me on MySpace.
Yeah.
All right. I'm Jewish, so I don't know the New Testament, but I'm pretty sure there's something in there where Jesus said, like, it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to get into heaven. That's in there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, Joel Osteen drives a Ferrari. I think if you're going to be a pastor, or especially if you're going to be one of those people who uses their religion to like discriminate against people or make other people feel bad, you should have to know the Bible like nerds know the Lord of the Rings. Like, if you can't name every character right now, shut the fuck up, poser. All right. That's how I think the Pope should just be whoever knows the entire text by heart in the most languages. Bye.
Yeah.
See ya.
Darth
Go,
Giordano,
go,
go.
Yeah, okay, this is from a while ago, but there's something that on behalf of the Jews, if I may speak for the Jews, I'd like to throw something out there to the Christians, which is you kind of stole our book there. We had this book, you took it and you just shoved it at the beginning of yours, and it's just like you didn't ask. And I don't want to be a Jewish person making it about the money, but we haven't seen a dime. Any of those things. You just took our book, and in the front part of the book, our part of the book, there's this thing about thou shalt not steal. I mean, you might want to read that. Anyway, I'm just saying it'd be cool if you didn't steal our book. All right, thank you.
Amanda Cohen, go.
Hey. So I'm in menopause. I know, after 30 years, I'm like, whew, that's over. Yeah. I never had kids. That means that a thing I never used doesn't work anymore, which is like having a brand new car up on blocks. And mine would be a Chevette. 0 mileage, but still a Chevette. Now they want me to take hormones so I can pretend I'm using the thing that doesn't work anymore, which is like sitting in the Chevette going vroom vroom. I've never been pregnant. I never got to give it a test drive. I probably should have rented out my uterus when it was still working. Plush interior, near mint condition, excellent Blue Book value. It's still got that new uterus smell. So I have to fill the full minute? Okay, good.
Oh, sweet. All right. So, okay, here's the thing. I'm going to lose all the goodwill I had earlier in the mic. This is a joke that has only worked once in a room full of men. So it's gun and bomb here. I'm trying to get it back. I think I'm pro-pedophile. Now, I know that sounds awful. Yeah, I get it. But here's the thing. I think you are too. Just from a mathematic perspective, I think there's only so many adults in the world, and there's not an even number of people who can end up with each other. But if we look at if all the people who fuck kids fuck adults, there'd be even less adults to go around. So on some level, mathematically, I'm kind of pro-pedophile because at least that means more adults for me. I think on some level, this doesn't work in most rooms. It only works in a room of creeps. And unfortunately, you guys aren't creepy, so I'm gonna do nothing else. Thank you very much. Give it up for Mark.
Thank you, Tristan. Yeah, thank you everyone for coming out. I accidentally awoke in the Furby again this week. So if you heard that during the last 2 comics, I had to keep going on mute. This Furby will not stop talking next to me. But thank you all for coming out. See you next week. Simulation complete.
Mark,